I want to start off with one, Colin, that you're going to remember very well.
Sweet.
It is the haunted house outside of Wyndham that we had to call the police to come save us. This happened about 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. Me, you, and Dylan were there, and we had to actually call the police.
I had to think that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years
Probably
ago.
5.
Objects.
I've got a great.
Put it up against another.
And then,
Yeah, I remember.
It's not even the shape.
negative.
Mentally ill.
It's a special effects agency. We're back here, Ethan Claire Podcast Show in the attic. What do you boys think about the attic up here? Pretty interesting.
These chairs are very comfortable.
They are pretty comfortable.
Well, as long as no one falls asleep up here, I just don't want anyone passing out here, getting the coronavirus in the middle of the episode.
I was wondering if it was like good that there wasn't spider webs up here, because I'm like, if the spiders can't live up here, should we be up here?
It's pretty clean spider-wise up here.
It is, yeah. No spiders, and hey, we don't got to worry about asbestos either, like last week.
So we think.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Yeah, we don't know what's around those corners.
Last week, for people that don't know, go check out that episode. Great episode down in the tunnels. And
we're putting a lot of work into setting these things up.
Yeah, and now we're up in an attic.
I'm just kind of sitting here.
Well, Damon's the manager, so he's like, put that.
I'm a runner once in a while.
Supervisor.
Yeah. Supervisor Damon.
Well, once I'm down in the seat, I'm like, now I'm down. So.
Well, I should introduce you guys here. So we got Colin Clare here, co-host of the podcast, and Damon Wynett, other co-host of the podcast. We are the official crew for the Ethan Clare Podcast Show, and we are very happy to have you. We also have a Facebook page where we just hit 1,000 likes.
Oh, that's right.
And I just thanks to the fans for getting us there, and I think we're on the road to 2,000 here very quick. Hopefully we can boost that. Get to 2,000 and then
road to 100,000.
Let's get to 2,000.
Yeah.
Let's get to 3,000.
Did you check who the 1,000 one? Because I think we have to give them a shirt or something.
Oh, we should. Yeah.
I think we
did. We say that?
I think we might.
Okay.
Have.
Well, 1,000th person.
We better start writing down all these giveaways.
Yeah,
Ethan,
no one back all right now, so we can figure that out.
We will find out who that 1,000th person is, and they'll be getting an official T-shirt. Actually, official T-shirt. Because that's what we talked about last week.
Oh, nice.
But speaking of last week, Damon went out of the way to find something awesome. Damon, you want to tell us what you got here?
Tonight is a special night. We have an unveiling. I found a can of worms soda, and we are going to try some here on the Ethan Clare Podcast Show.
Here, give me that.
Yeah. All right, so you say this one's open. How can you do that? The soda stopped made around the 1980s.
Yep.
So we were looking down the rabbit hole and looking, and I came across a recipe that everyone swears tastes just like worm soda. So I found this can. It came from Whitewater. It was on eBay. It was a little cheaper than yours, Ethan.
Crazy,
But this can is sweet. It's like an old tin steel can. It says "I like worms" on one side.
You did
best
say
worms
though,
you
Damon,
ever tasted.
that you found other ones that were like $75.
Yeah,
right?
there's some high ones on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it multiple or just one?
Oh, there's some $30 ones, $50 ones, and $75.
I feel like
ones.
Mike had those.
We were trying to figure.
was
We were
wondering.
trying to think about that.
This one's super cool, and I sent you some pictures. We can always post those up here.
Yeah.
But this one's cool because it doesn't say Wispac on it or anything. It just says distributed by Ladco Incorporated, New Richmond, Wisconsin, and then the zip code.
That's awesome.
Some of the newer ones I saw on eBay also had another line on there that I'm assuming were newer because they're in better shape.
Yeah.
And said like the Wispac, PepsiCo
Oh,
on
really?
the top of them too.
I like that one. That's in good
That is
shape.
super cool.
So what we're going to be trying tonight is a specially blended quality carbonated soda with a taste so new and exciting that it requires a name just as unusual as our soft drink.
That's awesome.
It's a cherry blended soda. So what I brought here today, I got my little bar off to the side.
Damon's going to be making us a concoction. And for people that don't know what at all we're talking about here, the last week's episode, like we're talking about, we discovered that there was a soda from Wyndham called Official, and that guy bought the recipe from I Like Worms, Larry and Dwayne, from New Richmond, Wisconsin. And so Damon found the recipe that'll get us the closest to the original Worms drink. And it's mixing a couple different things together. Maybe we want to give the recipe on here, Damon.
We should. And I think, Colin, are you the one who found the hardest part of finding the
I am.
recipe?
I
Colin
found
found it
the Welch's white grape cherry grape juice.
So you might be thinking white grape and cherry don't go.
You
that good
better
together,
drive
but-
to Walmart if you want that.
Yeah, Walmart. Cub doesn't have it. Hy-Vee doesn't have it.
I could
Dollar
not find
General,
it in Wyndham.
No.
No.
And most of the time they carry the same stuff. So Hy-Vee doesn't have it. Cub doesn't have it. You got to go to Walmart. But luckily, that's a very.
Is this cherry Pepsi?
That's wild cherry Pepsi.
Wild cherry Pepsi,
Wow.
which came out in what? 1988.
1988.
We already got Rachel Ray over here. He's got the little.
I know. This is the only bartender I could be mixing 1 ounce, one shot. One
Hey,
shot
are
with some
these
soda.
spiked?
Yeah, these would be considered
He
spiked.
put a little,
and none of us have tasted this before either.
No,
I know
no.
this is compelling, but this is really exciting.
I've
because
literally been waiting for the last.
If you guys want to
hour
start busting
try
out
this.
maybe you don't want straws. I brought some
Oh.
straws in case you wanted to try your soda.
Well, maybe we could these could be mixing straws. So Damon brought some mixing.
I'm gonna try to
straws
pour
here.
fast enough where it kind of mixes for us because I don't think we want to take out too much carbonation.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, by
Yep.
mixing it. That's
Yep,
just
true.
something I added.
Yep.
But people swear that this is what worms taste like. Like, I mean, we found a message board when we were searching.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, it's spot on.
You marked it though. So how many?
1 ounce of the juice.
Okay.
Pouring the pop into the soda, into the juice to make it rise and
And then
mix
you
up.
just fill a cup up with
Yep.
pep.
And then we
okay.
salute, and then we try worms for the first
Yeah.
time. I mean, for what, like
It
40
smells
years?
pretty
Just
good.
like, just like it.
This might be the
Take a whiff of
first
it.
time that think of this, Damon. This might be the first time that worms has been drank in Wyndham since
Since
1984.
That's correct. I'm
All
going
right,
to say
well,
it is.
yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it is.
It is.
I'm going to hold the can in my hand just
Oh.
for effect for myself.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
Cheers, boys.
So let's cheers. Here we go. Salute there. Bring them down. Bring them down. Bring them down.
Oh, jeez.
And then
Don't knock 'em, though.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You can taste this one's white
I
grape.
can taste the grape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it pulls out the cherry too.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
yeah. Let me try
Wow. Get another sip for the boys.
Mm-hmm.
One sip. Everyone knows the rules.
Yeah.
again. Yeah. I can see where that would be addicting. Like,
I'd make more of it.
I'd make more of it. I'll see how this goes through the podcast and mix up another batch.
If anyone,
It's unlike anything I ever had. Like
Yeah.
the cherry. Like I didn't
Yeah.
think the white grape would pull out that much flavor with the cherry.
You could
double
definitely taste
cherry.
the grape pretty good.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it
well,
tastes.
Damon, thank you
Here.
very much
Yeah.
for.
Hold this and try one.
I'm gonna. That might change my whole experience. Yeah. So I'm gonna.
I think it dips it up too.
Even better the second
You
time.
think of it, look at the game. Yeah.
So I have to say,
Make it
very
again.
good.
Yeah.
I'd make it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a genius.
I can't believe how much the grape stands out.
I know, me
on.
too. And it was only an ounce. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, and you pour that much cherry and
Yeah.
like cherry Pepsi in there, but it actually
8 ounces of cherry Pepsi for those at home that want to try it.
And then 1 ounce of the juice.
1 ounce of the juice.
Make sure you get white grape cherry.
cherry.
White
yep.
grape cherry.
And everyone swore that's exactly what it tastes like.
Wow.
Like I'm not going to sit here and say
I'm
I
afraid
can
to wreck the can now.
Yeah, right. I should have washed it out and filled it up.
There you go. And now Damon also, one more thing before we move on though. Damon actually found a bottle or the bottles, right? That because Dwayne and Larry also made Rodeo.
This is correct.
And-
I geeked out and I decided, well, we won't. Probably the next one we might be drinking some rodeo soda.
And do you know the flavor of that one?
I'm gonna find it and say yes.
Oh, Damon's the man here
We're-
finding this stuff.
We're gonna drink straight out of the bottle, boys.
So we're getting that.
Really?
That'll be next time. Hopefully we get that. But this, I gotta say, very impressed. Actually, I feel like we're living in the '80s right now.
Yeah, me
drinking
too.
This,
I could.
so.
Could be looking around us.
Yeah.
Besides the laptop and the mics and
Yep.
stuff.
We
Yep.
could definitely be in a spot where the people were drinking it. You found a spearmint gum wrapper, double mint.
Yeah, right here we
Right
found
up here.
double mint chewing gum, very old, and I wish I had a year on it. It doesn't have a year on it. But I found this up here. There's probably other old stuff up here, but like I said to begin with, we're up in the attic, and so I thought this week that we'd kind of do
In
like
Iowa.
in Iowa. Yeah. Tales from the Attic is kind of the idea with this. And so I thought we'd kind of go into some stories that like you'd tell like your grandkids or like way back in the day,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And so I have like a couple here. I would love if Damon or Colin, if you guys have any stuff that you'd like to bring up to memories or stories. But I want to start off with one, Colin, that you're going to remember very well.
Sweet.
It is the haunted house outside of Wyndham that we had to call the police to come save us. This happened about 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. Me, you, and Dylan. You and Dylan were there, and we had to actually call the
I had to
police.
think that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years
Probably
ago.
5.
We talking the haunted house at the park?
This is outside of Wyndham.
Not
We were-
like a haunted
Oh,
house
oh.
attraction, but like a haunted house.
get with
like
the program here.
like an old house.
And you were so scared you called the
we had to call.
police?
This is the only time that
This
we've
is
called the police to
crazy.
come rescue us. So that we
This,
haven't.
this
like-
was 5 or 6 years ago. Now this was 2014.
It was in 2016, I believe. I believe it was 2016.
I don't think so.
Because I have a video that has the date in it.
really.
I first want to bring up though. We went out
Okay,
here.
it was the first month of 2016.
Yeah, so
Never
pretty
mind.
much end of 2015.
Dang. Well, geez,
Colin's
we were-
saying like
This
10
worms is hitting them hard.
10 years ago.
Well, it feels.
I'm gonna
like
say
a
it
long
gets
time
better
ago.
as you go.
It does, yeah. It does get better. So what happened was the Holkels brought me and Colin out here, and Riley, like a bunch of our friends, were out there waiting for us because they knew we liked abandoned houses. So they said they found this abandoned house. We go out there, and then we end up getting scared. I'll play the video here. Just it's not very long. Shut up! There's nobody there. Isaac said he saw somebody in there. Where?
Right behind the door.
You're such a liar.
I'm not lying.
I don't believe him at all.
So you thought someone was in there?
Yeah. What happened was Isaac went in first, and he saw somebody standing there, and we just
Some of them were in on it, though. I'm pretty
They
sure
were in it.
Isaac was.
Isaac was in on it. Morgan was in on it. They wanted to get me and Colin because we were pranking people, and so they pranked us. So then, of course, me and Colin are like, well, we need to prank somebody else at this house because we ended up figuring out that the Holkels' grandparents owned it. And so they had permission to be there. So we're like, all right, well, why don't we get Haken, our good friend Haken? Why don't we have them bring him out here, and me, Colin, and Dylan will be out there waiting. So we went out there. This is in the middle of winter. We went out there, and Morgan gave me a key because she said the door will be locked. Got there. The door was open already, which I thought was weird, but I didn't really think too much of it at the time. So we went in.
Everything's in there, too.
Yeah, and the people that lived there before, recently, it was like a month or two before I got evicted because they weren't paying rent. So everything was in there. Their medication.
They left everything. Their
wow.
pictures on the fridge.
Their birth certificates, social
That's just
security.
eerie on
It
its
is
own.
eerie,
Medicine.
yeah. And so me, Colin, and Dylan are hiding upstairs in one of the bedrooms. And Haken, Morgan, and them come. And I actually set my phone up on top of the cabinet in the kitchen. And so it doesn't have video, but you can hear them coming in and everything. So I made this video 4 years ago, and this is kind of like the whole story, and we'll kind of talk
So
over
this
it.
is before.
4
This is
years.
before you scared yourself.
This is
Dirty.
yes. This is like the early setup to everything that happened here. This fallen recording is 100% real and has not been tampered with.
Because you typed that.
So
It is true.
this is the entire thing, though. So I'm blowing in the recorder to make sure it's working, and then I run upstairs. So then it skips forward.
Dead air. It's
Dead
always-
air.
you always
Yeah, we gotta
gotta-
wait. We gotta wait till they get here
It's
because
tampered with there. I heard
Yeah.
the speed up.
So Haken, Morgan, Isaac, and Holly arrive. There's them coming in the house. Remember, Haken's the one we're pranking,
Yeah.
And Holly,
and Holly.
I think.
All right, just listen here.
There's gonna be like coyotes in here or something.
The bleeps are swears, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So then they'll argue outside.
Dying.
Guys, come on.
Haken's the only guy.
Hey, anybody in here? There's nobody in here.
Oh, Isaac
Dude,
is
there's
with him.
pictures right here. Casey, look at this. Dude, this is Casey's
He
house.
recognized one of the kids' pictures on the phone.
That's Haken.
Well, you want to see it?
Because I'm freezing. Yeah, because it's going to help. I don't like spiders.
I don't like spiders. Whoa. Ah, dude. It's a basement.
That's Haken.
What are you guys gonna do to him?
Just wait, I chuck something.
Didn't you chuck a...
Something down the stairs.
Wasn't it the couch or something? A
I don't
bed or
know,
something?
no, not that big.
Oh my god. I'm going to
Haken's screaming like a little girl.
That was him.
Yep. So then they all run out of the house. They run to the car and they take off.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, are you kidding with me? All I did was chuck, like I made a little knocking.
I'm pretty
sound.
sure you moved.
Maybe I did move.
You were moving to throw the thing downstairs. You moved, and then they all ran.
Yeah, and so then I'm calling them like, you guys got to come back. Like nothing even happened. Like we didn't even get Haken that good. You can hear him out in the yard. I swear to God, something moved upstairs. He said. Morgan, there's nothing in there. No, I swear to God on my life right now. Haken's actually scared at this point. Something moved upstairs. I swear on my life. And so they get in the car and leave. And then
We're pissed. We're
I'm
freaking
really mad.
out.
I'm texting Morgan, like, bring Haken back. We need to get him better. That was not worth it, whatever. So then they convince Haken to go back. So they turn the car around and
They
head
got
back.
all the way to Wyndham, though.
Yeah, and so they're pulling over here. We could see, because we're looking out the upstairs window, we can see their car way down the road. So then this is where it gets bad. Like, this is where it gets
For
creepy.
you? Like it gets
Yeah,
weird for
yeah,
you?
this is where it gets creepy. So They do not leave the car here. I say that because we are upstairs waiting for them.
Trying to get them, like Morgan was supposed to text us
sit
when
in the
they're
car.
walking up there.
They sit in the car for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, get out of the car. Like
They're all fighting.
They're all, hey, I'm not going back in there. I'm not going back in the house. And I'm like, Morgan, tell them to come back in, whatever. So finally, they're like, all right, Haken's like, fine, let's go. So then all of a sudden, we hear the door open in the main floor.
No.
And they're not back. That they haven't left the car yet.
Yeah.
And that you can hear someone come in the house. You can hear them going through papers, and you can hear us freaking out upstairs. Like, who's in here?
And that's probably why they weren't coming in. They saw someone come in.
They didn't see anybody. But here, you can hear the recording. You can hear the guy come
All right,
in.
Now
the
we
house.
got to the good part.
Yeah. That's just kind of the build up. But here's the good part here. So you can hear him come in. You can hear him scared. You can hear him walking.
Did it ever cross your mind that they're double crossing you? Like,
We saw them the whole time though. They shook something. Say someone's in the house.
Yeah.
You can hear him going through papers stuff.
Everything's in there, too. So we think the people came back because their birth certificates, all their medicines in there.
Yeah. Just on the time that you were up there.
That'd be the weirdest coincidence, but it gets creepy. So clearly they're grabbing some papers.
Yeah.
And remember, Ethan's phone's down there.
Oh.
So that's why, like, Ethan's phone's down there. We're upstairs.
What did you think about doing? Did you ever think about, like,
Here
confronting them or leaving someone?
Yeah, so we
How long you have to stay up there?
We stayed up there for about 45 minutes, and we were yelling, and we were just like, me and Dylan were contemplating about running down there. But you know Dylan, Hovdid, our buddy, he's a bigger guy. Like, he would be able to take somebody, and he would not come down with us. I would not go down. Colin would not go down.
We were all tripping.
We put a bed up over the stairs to block it. Well, because we were that afraid.
Yeah.
Like, we knew that the people that lived there before were unstable, and like it was like a bad situation, and all of their stuff was left behind. So we're like, the only option here is we need to call the police.
Yeah.
So we called the sheriffs. They came out. And
what was that phone call like? We are in an abandoned house.
We are in our friend's abandoned house.
Dylan's
because you had
mom
permission
was
to be
on
there.
duty.
We had permission to be there. And Dylan's mom is a cop. So Dylan called his mom. We didn't have to actually call 911.
She's a sheriff.
We had to call his mom. She was on duty. So her and another sheriff came out there. They came into the house at gunpoint. They're like, all right, Ethan, Colin, Dylan, come out. And we had to come out like hands up. Like they had their guns. They let us out of the house, and then...
Did they find anyone down there?
No. Then they go into the house, and they're looking around or whatever, and they noticed footprints that weren't ours. And then they also said the front door. I'm like, well, when we got here, Morgan said that the door would be locked, but it wasn't. So they looked at the front door, and the lock had been busted off. And so before we had got there, someone had broken in, and I don't know if they came back or if they got afraid when we showed up or what, but the police found footprints that led to the back, and we hadn't been to the back yet. And so I guess we have no idea like who it was.
Was Hank and those guys footprints around back at all or anything?
Well, they only came in the front door, and so we kind of walked around the whole property, and there was a footprints that went from the back, and they went all the way to the fence line, and then they disappeared.
So what do you guys come to conclusion?
My conclusion is Colin's. I think it was the
somebody
people.
Came back.
Either that or the house is actually haunted.
Or it's haunted, huh?
I mean,
you can hear everything. Like Ethan's phone's down there, so you can hear them coming in.
You can hear the paper.
Like you can hear the door opening again. Somebody messing with the handle.
What
whatever.
did the first group say? Why did they stay in the car?
Haken didn't want to go back in.
Haken would not go back in.
Yeah,
but they didn't see. Was this that night?
They did not see anybody.
Was
it was at night.
It was dark.
It was like
dark.
11 or midnight.
Yeah, and so they're parked. It's a super long driveway. They're parked probably like 100 feet, 200 feet away from the house, and the front door is on the side, kind of.
Yeah.
So.
Were they there when the police showed up?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were?
And we were all there.
Everybody was there,
Wow.
and they had to tell the police like we didn't see anybody.
And
show
we're
up.
meeting for movie ideas. What
The haunted house outside a window.
What scene is this?
So this is something that happened a long time ago, and we told a lot of people about it, whatever, and we were just like, and I actually have pictures of the house in here just to show you how creepy it is.
Yeah,
Ethan,
we
just
better
so you
see
know, the
some.
GoPro shut off, so watch the time. I don't know why it did, but
The GoPro shut off?
yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I'm
Ghosts.
not getting up. Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
So here's the ending part here. Got the horror music. Yeah, and that previous weekend the lock was fine. There's the house. That's the inside. I don't even know. There's a cellar in the house.
Oh, you asked the question. What do you think
Yeah.
happened? And then it jumped.
Yeah, I got a little
then
jump.
it's jump scare.
It isn't a prank though. That actually whole thing actually happened. I love that.
Either I knew that was gonna happen.
I know. I was to see if Damon would get a little jump.
I'm too far away from this.
Yeah, if you
Damon, that's a wilder demon.
if you're right up to
Oh
it.
my God, get me out of here.
So that is one of the scary things that happened to us.
That was a scary night. I was very scared.
We were very
upstairs.
nervous. That
What'd
was
you
one of
guys
the-
learn from it? Huh? Did you learn a lesson?
Yeah, you
Pranking.
keep pranking, but
That was Ethan's start of his or middle of his senior year, so we kept pranking all the way
yeah,
through.
we did prank a lot more people
Yeah.
after that.
The good old double cross pranks you start pulling.
Have you ever had
Prank the
anything,
pranker.
any creepy stuff like that, Damon? Anything like
Not a lot of firsthand.
haunted house? You ever had to call the police to come save
Never
you?
had to
Nothing
call the
like-
police to say.
I hope we never have to do that again.
No, my family growing up always. I remember there was one of the farm sites my grandpa had. They swear my uncles that it was haunted. Like,
Really?
it was like one of those older houses, you know, and how you'd have like another acreage and a house on there.
Uh-huh.
And they say when they were in there, they could hear footsteps above, and it was just kind of a thing. Like no one really wanted to go in there. I oddly enough never went exploring there. I mean,
Really?
yeah, some of those old farmhouses can be pretty.
There's
rickety.
something about these old farm places that are like I mean, not all
Well,
of them.
because they're out there by themselves. Like I don't know.
There's just something creepy
The
about
thing
it.
about that is it's completely snowed in too, so you can't drive up to the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the police
Yeah.
had to park on the road and walk through the snow.
I want to put on the record too. The only way I was going downstairs that night was if the cops showed up. Like Ethan,
Really?
Dylan, and I were not moving until the
No.
cops got there. Like we
Yeah.
were not gonna go downstairs.
Well, that is something.
I wanted to like jump out the window because did not want to
and
go through the house.
Haken, Isaac, more they would not come look. Like they would not
Because
come
we
help us out.
we called them then and we're like, somebody's downstairs. Like you guys got to come up here so we can get out of here, whatever. And they're like, shut up. You guys are trying to prank us now. And we're like, no,
They
we're
thought
not.
we were trying to prank
Because
them.
then,
It's
Yeah,
the
then
little boy
in
who
the
cried
car,
wolf.
in the car, they're telling Haken, all right, it was a prank, but now they're saying somebody's in there. I'm like,
That's the
Yeah,
hardest
like-
thing in the world, having to try to explain to somebody you just pranked that now we actually need help, and he's like, I don't believe you guys anymore.
Yeah.
Good luck, you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's like
And well, that's intriguing. Yeah.
you put yourself in that the boy who cried wolf situation, and then you actually need help.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain, but I can't think of like that type of situation like for myself. Like,
Yeah, it's a very unique
It was a unique
situation.
situation, and maybe like I don't know. I feel like maybe we didn't have to call the police, but in that moment, I would not go downstairs until
I can, now that you brought this up, because I completely forgot about it, but now you brought it up, there's no way I was going down there
Have you
without the
been?
cops coming.
No, have you been back since?
No, and the craziest part about this whole thing, in the beginning of the story, Riley was the one that jumped out and scared us. He now lives on that property.
No kidding.
They don't live in the house,
Yeah.
but they
They probably tore that house down.
I don't know if they tore it down, but they built a house on that property, and so they live there where the whole
That's
thing
full
happened.
circle.
So
that started it all.
another story, Colin, that we tell would be Hollow Man. This one is a crazy story here. Remember this?
Yeah.
Hollow Man getting chased.
Hollow Man.
So this happened in Mankato. So the Mankato Hollow is an area.
This is a real picture from a dash cam.
It's a picture that we took. It's actually from a video, and there's a story behind it actually. So
There's a guy in coveralls with a blurred out face
in a mask
and
on.
a lurking. Oh, is that a mask?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Ethan.
It is.
It looks
Is it me or is it somebody else?
No, you can tell it's you.
Yeah, it was me. This is from a video we made, kind of not a reenactment.
Damon, can't
but-
you tell that's Ethan?
Yeah, I thought
I
that
could
was my
just
first
tell
guess.
it's Ethan.
Yeah. But what happened was, so the Mankato Hollow is an area outside of Mankato, and it's like I don't know what you really call Old Highway something.
66
Old
or
Highway
something.
66 or something. It runs. There's a bridge out there. It runs out by the what's that nature area called? The
Red Leaf
Jacket Trail.
Red
Jacket Trail. You know what I'm talking about, Damon? There's
Yeah.
that big train bridge out there. And so we're out there, and we used to go out there. We used to drive up to Mankato all the time when we were in high school and just go mess around, go out to the cemeteries and go out to the different, we call it the Hollow. We go out there, and there's a house way back in the woods that we thought was like abandoned. And I mean, to this day, it might still be. I have no idea. And so me, Matt, Ryan, and Colin are walking through the woods, going out to this house, and there's the road is covered with trees and covered with all kinds of brush and stuff. And so we're walking down this old road, and we come up to the house, and we're walking around the front, and I see a light on in the house. I'm like, no way there's anybody here. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if Colin saw it, but me, Matt.
Oh, yeah, I did see it, yeah.
Matt, okay, I didn't think you did. Me, Matt, and Ryan are just kind of looking right there, and we're about to get a little bit closer, and we must have stood there for 5 minutes. Something jumped out of the tree, and the only way I can describe it was like a combination of a deer and a human.
Really?
And it jumped out of the tree and landed on the ground and started chasing after us.
Hollow Man.
What?
I swear to God,
Really?
Damon.
You were
we
there?
Damon,
Yes,
Matt
it was-
and Ryan
it
will tell
was-
the same story.
yes.
We hauled
Ryan's
ass.
Ham's
So
out.
we've been doing this podcast now for quite a while, and
Damon, we have so many stories.
We've had
that-
paranormal on here and everything, and and Ethan and Colin are like, I don't know if I believe. And you're sitting here telling me that Hollow Man is jumping out at you?
That is a good point, but I never thought it was a paranormal.
I don't know
creature.
what the heck happened that
Maybe it's
night.
not
All
fair.
I know is something was chasing us through the forest, and we were jumping over
not
logs
normal.
and stuff, running back to our car.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know if a deer could get up in a tree. Maybe I have no idea. But whatever, could they get up
Yeah.
in a tree?
A deer?
Yeah.
No.
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 It jumped-
I mean, if it was spazzing out and like running away, and the tree had some type.
No.
They don't
it
climb
jumped.
trees.
It must have jumped 10 feet
Did
down.
it have like curly horns?
No, and all I remember was it happened so quick. Like it was literally like me and Matt and Ryan were peeking around the corner of the house, and the tree's right next to us. And all of a sudden, I remember is I heard something, looked up, I saw it jump down. It landed right next to us, and then it started chasing us. And we hauled. I remember Ryan Zamzow was super fast. He was hurdling over trees.
We all were flying.
So
like,
I've learned that gray fox can climb trees.
It was big though. It was.
it,
big.
it was big.
Yeah.
Like human deer combined.
Now we're getting back
Hollow
into like
That's
wilder
awesome.
demon territory.
Yeah.
Wilder
Maybe that
demon
demon's
territory.
after you. Yeah.
The thing about this is
Was
another.
this before or after the wild demon hit?
Before.
Hey, yeah, oh yeah, this is 2016.
And what's the location again? Backtracking.
Wow, this is in Mankato, the Hollow.
This was in Mankato.
Hollow
Well,
area.
that's
Yep.
60-mile radius or more.
What were you saying, Colin?
I'm saying another 2016 story.
Around that time, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stuff happened in 2016. I actually have the picture right here of the Mankato Hollow sign. 1874, Mankato Hollow, out in the woods. So now you know, Damon, this is official.
Did you make that with a little orange rock?
Huh?
Did you?
No, we
we found this out there in the woods. Damon, what the heck are you talking about?
1874.
I don't want to discredit the story with that sign, but the wilder demon actually jumped down out of the tree.
Yeah.
Not the wilder demon.
Let's just say
Hollow
somebody
Man.
probably found
Could've
that
been.
in the middle of the road.
We're getting way off track if that's what we're supposed to do. No, could have been wilder demon.
I-
You don't know.
I
Wings tucked
guess
in?
yeah.
What time of year was this?
The only other thing
You got to pinpoint this stuff.
it
When was
was
the hollow?
it was we were wearing
situation?
shorts, so it was summer.
Okay.
And when we hit the wilder demon was summer too.
Yeah.
Now the other thing I don't know if it's ever been spotted around Mankato, but all I'm saying is I know that we've seen things around the area, and I know people have caught on their game cams a cougar, and I know cougars will climb into trees.
This is true.
So now the thing
Cougar
is,
probably would have caught us though.
yeah, that's the only thing.
Ethan, how are we doing on time in case we gotta set the cameras up?
Well, you should check the GoPro. I feel like I don't
Good
know why
luck getting by me.
the
Colin.
GoPro. Colin, the cougar. Talk about the cougar.
Yeah.
While I fix the GoPro.
Cougar.
Ethan's one that knows all about cougars.
I guess. Damon, I don't even know. All I know is pretty.
Jeez.
Oh.
I thought that was going to happen to me. Fall over backwards in my chair when we were
All
up
I know
We're gonna take
is
quarters, ladies and
something
gentlemen.
jumped out of that tree that night and
Yeah.
chased
there. Scared
us.
you.
And
Ultimately,
started us
like-
back to Wyndham.
and you made it back to your car.
Yes.
Oh, is this not plugged in? Oh no, it is.
We had to finish going through the hollow. Went through Rapidan. Are you familiar with
Yes.
Rapidan?
The nice dam.
Yeah. Had to stop at the famous pop machine.
Yep. Have you ever had a shake and burger at the little shop?
Oh, amazing.
You have to.
Their fries are
Good
so
date
good.
spot. Good date spot. Now
Yeah,
we're getting off.
yeah.
Look what we talk about when you're gone.
You know she's a keeper if she
If she likes the
enjoys
milkshake.
the damn fries.
The damn fries. We go from cougars to date spots.
There's also
Within 30 seconds.
right on
Yeah,
topic for you. Ethan.
Yeah. Could combine the two maybe.
But there's a high Native American
High Native American.
and Mankato like presence from everything that's happened.
I thought you said
spiritually.
Okay, I thought you were saying there's a high Native American. I'm
Oh,
what
no,
are they smoking?
no,
I just-
that was my next question for you guys.
yeah, you're probably wondering what we're doing before we're running.
No, but you
into
bring
these
up cougar,
creatures.
and I mean that's a logical explanation.
Just because like the cougars are big. The only thing I could think of, and you're right, Colin, a cougar would definitely catch us. But if the cougar jumped out of a tree and got injured, it maybe couldn't run as fast.
Yeah, or only catch the slowest one out of your bunch.
We are all booking it.
Yeah.
And I wish I had
They're not
more
like deer,
details. I wish I had video or anything. But that was another one of those scary, creepy moments.
Yeah.
All
that-
4 of us are trustworthy guys, so.
Well, what inspired you to be Jason from Friday the 13th ish with the coveralls?
So that's a good question. We made a
Short film
called The Hollow, and
It was supposed to be a
place-
series.
Yeah, and it actually does take place in the Mankato Hollow. And in the video, I don't want to give too much away, but they run into the Hollow Man, and they actually have to like avoid him and stuff. And we only made one episode because we
That's kind of like the Slender Man.
kind of yeah.
We've made so many mans. We got Mort Man,
Mort
Hollow
Man, Hollow
Man,
Man,
Snowplow Man.
Snowplow Man. Yeah.
Snowplow Man.
That's a whole nother
We can't get into
story.
that.
Yeah,
one,
I
though.
can't really
I do
release
have one
that.
other story that I want to bring up
Yeah,
tonight.
add it.
I have this one, but I don't know if we'll get into that. I have
What
the
was
Bigelow, the Worthington Manor locked door story.
Oh, who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean, it's a little creepy, but this one here is probably one of the scariest stories of. What do we get? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what do we get in other stuff now? This is another one of those stories that unexplained. I'd have no idea how to explain it. Maybe you'll have an
Now
explanation.
are we
Damon.
set in Worthington?
Nope. This is in Bigelow. And
There's a good explanation for this.
well,
we'll see,
yeah,
Colin.
we'll see. So the
I got a
story,
good
the story
explanation.
for this is a long time ago, by the way. So there won't be any legal ramifications for this one.
1874.
Yeah, 1874. There's an abandoned school in Bigelow, and at the time, the only way to get into the school was to go
There's
through.
a board propped up against the side of the building, so we just laid down the board, crawled in the hole. Window was busted out.
And by the
already.
way, this has all been sealed and dealed, so there's no one can go there now. But
Okay.
They literally concreted that hole.
this is what we ran into as soon as we got in.
Cemented.
The only way
Oh.
to get into the school was to cross a flooded,
I'm sure there's nothing bad in there for you.
a flooded boiler room basement, and you could see that there's.
Heck, I don't even know who this is.
We have no idea. This could be Morton Man or.
I was going to make the joke that we have worms, and you actually got
Yeah,
worms.
we actually got something.
It could.
So then, this is what the basement looked like: just all kinds of chemicals and paint
Yeah,
and.
might as well walk through it.
Yep, exactly. So then we get in, and this is just me, Colin, and Jordan, our buddy, and I won't name any last names, so we'll just say Jordan. And here's the inside of the school, and so it's very creepy. But then we start running into
Nice hoop.
we start running into arrows that start
Spray
leading
paint.
spray painted arrows that go this way, then they go this way, and then you follow a hallway and go this way, and you'll start seeing them here. Nice gym. The arrows.
It was
let's
just
see.
a weird school. I was getting a weird vibe.
Yeah, yep. Cool, creepy lockers.
There's
So
room
then
now.
let's see if we can find some of these arrows pointing. Maybe I didn't get pictures of the arrows.
I just
Oh, yeah.
like all the stages.
Turn around.
So like here, you see there one, it says this way, and there's a arrow pointing. You can't really see the arrow, but it's pointing up the stairs.
Up
So
the stairs.
We go upstairs, turn around, and then we come into these rooms
yeah.
that are covered in satanic spray paint. And we looked up these symbols and stuff, and they all are different demons, actually. And someone took the time. So, that, I mean, you could say it's just kids messing around.
Right.
Somebody took the time to look up, like even this one right here, very... that's obviously something. We looked up demonic symbols, and you can actually, like, this is the name of one of them. That's the name of one of them.
Yeah.
That's the name of one of them. And they're all over the place, spray painted in here.
Just weird.
He will save us, 666.
Well, I noticed they messed up the main one with their pentagram.
Oh, back here.
Yeah.
How'd they?
Well, if they're supposed to have the star pointing down,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, must be kids.
must be kids.
Yeah. I mean, someone took time.
I mean, from watching everything that you read about and stuff, or like come across.
Yeah.
They got
and-
the cross upside down there.
Yeah, that's what I said. He is watching all these different signs or demonic symbols here, and they wrote all this stuff on the board. Like, so our explanation was maybe there's a cult.
Either way, this is not cool.
No,
Like, you
no.
don't want to come across.
We're just
this,
getting a weird
no matter
vibe.
who's doing this. Yeah.
Then we get like this,
'Cause
like
there's your door jam with stuff all around it. Like,
yeah, we get like a creepy, like I don't remember the Colin. I remember me, you, and Jordan. Like we have to get out of here. We're
We
getting a
just got a
horrible
weird
feeling.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Just young high schoolers
Yeah,
messing
yeah.
around.
And
Was
this-
there any pentagrams on the floor? Like
I
do you
don't remember.
I don't
I don't
remember.
remember that. Let's see if I have any more pictures. but just like a really creepy. That's the outside. Look at that place,
Yeah.
like in the middle of this small
Looks like
town.
so many schools.
Creepy,
On the edge of the town,
just,
yeah.
and you're wondering like who would have gone in there and done all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids could have, but they had to take time to look up demonic symbols,
Yeah.
spray paint it, and I just remember getting the worst feeling.
So I'm getting a vibe that, Colin, you're a little on the edge, like, yeah, that's kids, and Ethan, you're a little bit like maybe they were doing
Cult.
rituals in there.
Yeah, I'm
Cults
thinking
and
cult.
stuff?
I do know that they were planning on turning the school into a rescue home for sex workers. That's what the that's
still,
like a
it's still abandoned.
Rehabilitation,
It's still
yeah.
abandoned.
It's still abandoned, but we haven't gone in since that.
Even
then.
even on both flip sides of the coin, it's still not something you want to dabble
No,
in
no,
and like
no.
even mess around and joke about
No.
like doing that stuff. So
No.
either way,
It was
steer
creepy.
clear and don't do it.
yeah, it was definitely one of the
My
creepier
PSA.
times.
And there's
you don't
one
wanna come
more
across
one
that.
more story, Damon. This is a short one. I guess we'll throw it in here for you. This is a short one. This place was actually torn down probably like 3-4 years
Casey's
ago.
house.
Yeah, it's we call it the Worthington Manor, outside of Worthington,
yes,
out
yes,
in the middle of the country. And I have a couple pictures here. Just a creepy old farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. And inside, we found
Ooh.
all kinds of creepy
heads.
dolls and stuff. And there was one room in the house. Every room in the house is opened up. There was one door in the house. This door right here that we could not get
Very
into.
strong wooden door.
Extremely
Really?
bolt, like whatever they had on the other side
Yeah.
was not just the little lock. You know, they have these old
Yep.
locks.
I have that door
Really?
in my studio. Yeah, yeah.
So
And
how-
I guess I have a small story, but it's not really too exciting. But
Well, I'm going to ask you how strong. I mean, I know they're heavy wood doors,
yeah, they're
but
not
like
they're not hollow core. They're
okay, so I mean, but we know these kind of locks is not very strong.
skeleton key.
Yeah,
type
kind of
situation.
skeleton. There was something behind that door holding it shut so that we could not get in there. So I mean, it's a short story.
Yeah.
They nailed her up on the other side, went out the window.
We were always wanted to go back and actually find out what was in there, but they
Yeah.
tore the house
We
down.
went back. It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, it was literally torn down.
My uncle had. I say I have a door like that. My uncle had a house they were tearing down. It was like one of those ones, like I believe it was like one of those Sears square ones, you know, that you could kind of order. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, sure.
And we went through it to make sure if there's anything we wanted in there before it was torn down. And I went up in the attic, and I'd never been in the attic before, and we're in an attic right now.
Yeah.
And
There we go,
it
attic
was super
stories.
hot, and that house always kind of had a strange, not strange vibe, but like when you're young, you know, weird vibe because we never really got to go upstairs that often. And I do remember there being like a casket up there.
What?
Like upstairs now.
Oh, my.
If it was like a prop or where they got it, but there was a casket up there. So I went through the house by myself, and I went up into the attic and went through a door just like that, but it opened. Yeah. And I actually said, "This is a cool door," so I took the door.
Oh, you have it up in your
it's
studio.
up in the studio,
Wow.
and then I found this really cool old desk up there that had to been up there since who knows how old that house was.
Wow.
Covered with dust. I think it's from Saginaw was the tag in it, but it's like one of those cool curved tiger wood curved
Really?
woods with a top, and that has to have a little bit of mojo or something.
Oh, yeah.
Connect to that, and that is
Yeah.
also in the studio.
Maybe that's
So-
what it is. The energy of these old houses is what kind of gets you to like, you know,
Yeah.
because I definitely think like places that have been like they built some of these houses in like the early 1900s. There's definitely an energy from all the
so
people.
many people passing through.
and all the good times,
those
bad
houses,
times,
bad
like
times.
we talk about with some of the paranormal people.
even the people alive passing through to grab
Yeah.
their stuff.
Pranks being played.
Pranks
Yeah.
being played, and
But that doll head, I mean, like, I used to go through, I mean, you find some odd stuff in farmhouses. And
that's like a horror movie,
Yeah,
like
that's
a
like a
crack
horror
in the
movie.
brain,
Yeah, it's
kind of.
messed up.
Yeah, so. I don't know. Attic stories. I'm sure
Attic
I have
stories.
enough stories for.
Bats in the attic. I'm really surprised we haven't seen
I know, no
any.
bats up here.
I'm really starting to wonder. This is kind of like a bunker, like an upstairs attic bunker.
This is the coronavirus safety shelter,
Safe
Damon.
for now.
Safety shelter up here. We
Yeah.
got concrete walls. We got good drinks.
Good drinks.
Good
Toilet
drinks.
paper.
Yeah, so make sure
Oh,
everyone.
don't say that.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't joke too much about that. It's getting,
It is getting serious.
crap's getting a little bit real here.
Yeah, be careful.
Like,
Wash your hands. I've
We were
heard
up here.
20 seconds for
Yeah.
washing your hands.
Hot
ABC
water.
or happy birthday.
Hot water. Drink
Warm
some
water.
official or worms that
Worms, mix up worms. Bring it
keeps
back to the
the
good old
bad
days.
mojo away.
We should have had a chug-a-lug contest.
Oh, next week maybe with the rodeo.
With the rodeo.
Bottle.
You boys would smoke me.
So everyone, go out there. Damon provided an excellent beverage
Try
tonight.
it. You
and
won't be disappointed.
you won't-
Ethan
we
still
will
hasn't
not.
finished it.
Oh, I got one sip left.
I gotta go to sleep tonight. So
There we go.
Have one cup.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been a fun episode up here in the attic with the worms, with the boys, with the stories, and
share your stories if you have some.
Yeah, we'd love
stories.
to. Yeah, if you want to email us. Or, we have a link and everything. You can message us on Facebook. Make sure you're part of our Facebook group, the EC Show Party. It's definitely a party in there. And we'll maybe even post the recipe on there so people can.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
That'd be a good idea. So
and the pictures of the can.
Yeah, I will get those on there. Yeah,
I guess I have them too. But.
So, perfect. So, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Make sure you like the Facebook page, subscribe, leave us a review if you enjoyed. We'll be back next week. You probably have no idea where we're going to be because we don't either. We're always moving around. So, we'll find another unique location. So, thank you very much. This is the Ethan Clare Podcast Show.
Objects.
I've got a great up against another.
And then,
I remember.
It's not even the shape.
mentally ill.
It's a special effects agency.